Miami's Party Station, Power 96. My name is KC Chopz. I'm really excited for this interview because this is the first time I'm getting to interview international superstar DJs, and I've really only done hip-hop interviews, so this is my first. I'm really excited for this because I have so many great questions for you guys. I got the bingo players in the house. How are you guys?
What's up?
How long was that flight? I know. How are you guys feeling right now?
It was like a 10-hour flight and another hour delay and then 2 hours through immigration in Miami, so...
Oh man, I just want to let you guys know, Miami's famous for the strip clubs. And your song, Rattle, is probably in the biggest strip club in South Florida, Scarlett's. That song is like the anthem to that strip club.
That's so cool.
So much booty to that song.
That's good.
I just want to say thank you to
That's
you guys.
good. You're welcome, my man.
So you guys are playing at Story tonight.
Yeah.
This is your first time playing at Story?
Yeah. We played live on Arcadia before, and now we're playing Story.
Dave Grutman just bought that venue, and I heard they put lights in it that I've never seen in my life before.
I've heard it's amazing, yeah, but this is the first time we're playing there, so It's always exciting,
Wow. So how is playing in Miami? What is it like playing in Miami? Like.
Well, it's different, It's like.
In a good way?
Yeah, in a good way. It's so like, how do you say it? Well, of course you have Ultra, which is like one of our favorite festivals in the whole world. When we played there in March, it was really spectacular, and the whole world is watching Ultra in Miami, And apart from that, like Live is an amazing club. We always love to play there. People have like great energy, beautiful girls.
The Latin blood, I've heard.
We have so many Latin fans over here. It's just, and then they have lots of energy.
I'll
so
say
really
Miami has the most beautiful women in the world.
And I agree, man. I agree.
I'll stick by that. So, what is the difference between like playing in Europe? I've never been overseas yet, but Europe and in the United States, is there a difference between the fans, the way they receive the music?
Well, in the US recently, dance music exploded, in the last few years, and Europe has been around for a longer time.
Mm-hmm.
So you notice when you're playing in the US, especially that everybody's like really pumped into it and really energetic. They're for them, most of the people it's new, so they're going for it all the way.
So
yeah, and in Europe, it's been around for 25 years in Europe. Like even on like not pop radio, not like over here on pop radio, nobody ever touched like the EDM sound, And in Europe, it's been like part of the pop culture for I think 25 years or something.
Wow. So if you guys play a new song, then I'm sure you guys got some ready to go in the USB flash drives to drop tonight. Sure. Do you think you get a bigger response like here in Miami? They're just more thirsty for that music, or do you think in Europe you get more of that?
No, definitely over here. Over here, the energy is just better at the moment than in Europe, And you still have like great places in Europe where you can play, like Italy and in the UK. But we have to be honest, in the US, it's happening right now. What's happening right now in the US is mind blowing.
Right. Wow, so you guys have played all around the world. Where is your favorite place to play?
So such a difficult question.
Really?
It really depends. We love to play for festivals, so like Ultra.
Coachella, we played this year, was really good.
You can compare them, and we love the intimate vibe of a club. So you can say love a festival more than the club, whatever it's.
So you guys have that big room music, so.
Yeah, like for instance, like in the US, you have so many different vibes, and like for instance, when you go to Vegas, you can't really compare Vegas to, let's say, New York. It's such a different kind of vibe,
Right.
So, but that's the cool thing about the US. It's like one country, but you have all these different kinds of vibes and places, and I love that.
Wow. How do you guys feel about? I know you guys probably feel a certain way about EDM. By the way, do you like me calling it EDM? Because I know a lot.
I don't. I know that a lot of people are like really resentful against that.
Right.
I don't really care. It's everybody knows what you're talking about.
Right.
So call it EDM if you want.
So how do you guys feel about it going mainstream? Like it's so commercial, and do you think people are not original enough? How do you guys feel about that?
Well, it has upsides and downsides. Upside is more people get in touch with the music, and they discover like new music. And when they are at a certain point, they going to look behind the mainstream songs and discover other acts in the EDM scene. So that's great about becoming mainstream.
Yeah, I think it's important that the mainstream accepts it, so it can grow even further, And that's what happened over here, to be honest. Like David Guetta was like the first guy who got like dance music on the radio over here, and then everybody was like, well, this is pretty cool, but what's behind that? And then people looked to guys like us and all the other guys, and I think the same will happen. You know, dance music is a very, I call it, sorry, not EDM, let's say dance music, but electronic music. It's a type of music that always evolves. You know, it never sounds the same. If I play a song, an electronic song from like 5 years ago, it wouldn't make sense anymore. You know, because it's too dated.
Right.
And that's the good thing about like electronic music. It evolves really quickly.
How do you feel about artists like Flo Rida and Pitbull just finding those smashes? And I'm sure you're gonna give me the politically correct answer, but someone that just finds a record and just raps on it and makes it a smash. I mean, like Flo, we're playing the Flo Rida version of "I Cry," you know.
Well, you know, the "I Cry." Let's say "I Cry" because we were like, this was like when that came out. You know,
we were playing your version way before. We saw.
Thanks, man.
This is a year old already. What is it rapping on that?
Well, "Cry" was like a really big club tune, and what happens a lot these days is that like the pop producers look at the club scene and they think, wow, that's a great song, let's make it pop. And we used the sample. It's from an 80s song from Brenna Russell called "Piano in the Dark," and we just used that loop, changed it a little bit.
Right.
And of course they copied us because they used the same vibe, the exact same loop. Right. But to be honest, for us it was a good thing because of that Flo Rida song, a lot of people came back to the original, to us, you know, and got into touch with our version. So a lot of our hardcore friends are really upset about the Flo Rida thing. They hate Flo Rida and stuff, but for us it was a good thing, to be honest.
When I first heard that song, because I'm a producer and I was trying to find 100 BPM soul samples, just to speed them up and make them sound that perfect. Like, I really like that song.
Thanks so much.
You guys are on the road a lot. I would say, do we say 200 gigs a year? Or is that
for sure.
Like this 10-hour flight, what health-wise, how do you guys keep up with it, man? Like, how is it? I know it's got to be tough, sleep and.
Yeah, that's the worst thing, you know. You don't get enough sleep, but it's just you get the energy every night from the shows.
Yeah.
And you do some drinks, and you're all set, man.
We drink too much as well. We should stop that, you know. We party too much. We should like scale that down a bit.
So, do you guys have like a crazy road story? The craziest story maybe with a girl?
I can tell you that off air, but not on air.
Okay, we're not on the air right now, and I'll cut it out so it won't play. But okay, we could talk about that later.
Yeah, you know, it's just the typical things, you know. Everybody, you know, it's
right.
It's especially in the US, you know, you meet a lot of interesting people.
Is it the same in Europe though? I've always wondered that. No, they're more reserved.
Yeah, for sure. It's a totally different. People in the US are way more outgoing than people in Europe. They're more reserved, more quiet.
Except for the British guys.
Yeah, the British, they are crazy. And the Italian as well.
So I'm a DJ, right? And I know a lot of guys, a lot of DJs are like, I'm watching these videos on YouTube and I'm at the festival and I'm not gonna say any names. These guys have an Ableton session opened up in there.
Yep.
Press play. Or they're not mixing records, or Avicii isn't a DJ, and I try to explain to them, look, bro, they're producers just performing their music. They're not. Look, how do you guys feel about that? Do you guys mix? Do you guys consider yourself DJs as well?
Yeah, we do the old school mixing, just like track by track. We never do like pre-mix or something.
Yeah, the only
listening to it, adjusting the.
Yeah, you know, it's also we never play the same set twice, so we always feel a crowd. It's still the old school way, you know. We just like to look at a crowd. We always have like the first song. That's the only song we know we're gonna play. Of course, we know we're gonna play Rattle and Cry. So, but like let's say 50% we know we're gonna play, and the other 50% depends on the night. And we just look at a crowd, and you know we have USB, so that's the only modern thing. Yeah. So, but that's just easy, you know, because of all the traveling.
Right.
But you know, for us, it's not really exciting to like put on push a button and then it just plays.
And pretend.
Yeah.
And then pretend. You know, it's if other people want to do it, it's fine. But for us, it's not really exciting to do that.
Right. So how do you guys feel about promoting your music wise? You guys any projects coming up?
What do you mean like promoting?
Like you have anything you want to tell the listeners out there where they could find you? What new projects you want to let them look out for?
Yeah, we have a new Bingo original coming out on May the 20th. It's called Buzzcut, and it's just a really hard, banging club song. We needed to do that for ourselves because of like all the songs that crossed over, like Cry and Rattle. We were like, we really want to just go back to basics and just do a song for the clubs, you know? Because that will always be our main priority, make music for the clubs.
Everything that you guys play in your sets, is it maybe an edit from you guys, or do you guys sometimes play other people's music, or do you want to try to keep everything with a Bingo Players flavor? Like, you guys have edits to all your songs? Does it, like everything is like tampered by you, or do you guys like will sandwich in just a regular David Guetta, like a regular, you know, Nicky Romero song? Will you guys always tamper with it?
Yeah, we try to make as many edits and mashups, bootlegs of tracks.
Right.
Because sometimes you hear a track, you hear like a great drop, but you didn't feel the break or whatever,
Right.
and then we try to edit it, you know. So it all depends on the song, but we always try to do something different, you know. With
Yeah, you know, just make our own mashups, make our own bootlegs. You know, we love to do some classic songs as well and just make a bootleg out of them. You know, there are so many DJs out there right now, so you have to search for stuff to make it unique.
Right. Yeah.
So that's why we just love to do like mashups and bootlegs and edits and you know, and play. Of course, we play stuff from other DJs as well. You know,
Right.
if Avicii puts out a great record, then we play it. Or if the Sweets do it, or you know, or also like the unknown guys. It doesn't matter as long as the song is good. You know.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you guys coming in. Thank you very much for the interview. I know you guys are tired.
Thanks for having us,
Thank you
man.
so much.
Hey, we're the bingo players.
Big shout out to Clark Martin.